Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Breakdown, and I'm gonna take my glasses off because the glare on my glasses is really crazy. And the last time I got glasses, I had anti-glare on my glasses, and I don't think they did as much glare when I shot videos, but now they seem to be glare all the time. Anyways, let's talk about wrestling for a second. Okay, so I shot a review last week talking about wrestling, and I didn't put it up. I don't think I put it up. I probably didn't. But this week, it's going to be a little different. And this is why I haven't done Raw and SmackDown things lately. And it's because it's just not exciting anymore. It's got to the point to where it's not fun to watch. And when you've been watching wrestling as long as I have, and you seem to kind of lose pretty much an emotional attachment to anything that's going on in wrestling. It's rough, okay? And it seems to me on a weekly basis, it's just, the same thing happening over and over again. And I watched Raw Reunion last night. The possibilities were really, really good. There was a lot of things that could have happened, didn't happen. And I'll be honest, I watched Extreme Rules. If you watch um, the review of it, it was a very, very positive review. I think they're heading in the right direction. I thought the show was really a huge step up from anything that they had done previously this year. And I honestly think that Extreme Rules is probably one of the best shows of 2019 from the WWE, barring anything from NXT. I'm not talking about them. NXT always does a great job, and Vince McMahon just can't see it. That they need to start replicating that in some way, shape, or form. Do something to that degree. But the Raw after Extreme Rules was okay. They did some stuff that they did at Extreme Rules, and they let the matches breathe. But this whole commercial break thing it's just killing the product. It's killing the product completely, and they just need to stop doing it. They need to go to picture in picture. They need to do stuff like that. They need to really just get out of that mindset that they have to worry about the commercial breaks and worry about the TV production stuff. Just do a wrestling show. I don't know why that now, in this day and age, this is when they want to start doing this stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. But as far as that, it was okay. It was pretty good. But last night at Raw Reunion, this was trash. It was completely trash. And here's why I think it didn't work. They were trying to put a bunch of legends on the show. They didn't put any wrestling matches hardly on at all last night. The best wrestling during the night, it wasn't even really a match. Cedric and Drew. The Joe and Roman match was pretty good. Wasn't a whole lot of messing around with that match. That was okay. Those are probably two of the best segments. Sammy, Ray didn't do anything for me. I'm not a fan of Sammy. They haven't booked him right. I don't really care about him. Heel or face, I don't care. You can put him on the announce table. I still wouldn't care about him. He's just not booked right. They haven't did anything with him. They got to put him in a prominent storyline, and they're not doing it. Hopefully Heyman sees something with him and does something with him, but if not, he's going to be floundering. We got the Revival versus the Usos. That was okay. But you can tell that I think the shenanigans were trying to outweigh the match. So this wasn't good. It was okay. Um, and then I think what was the other matches? Yeah, the whole AJ Seth thing was stupid. And now knowing that it was supposed to be Ricochet, but I think something was going on with Ricochet where he couldn't be there, or something he wasn't, or he was hurt or something. I don't know what was going on with him. But it's originally written for him. But I guess maybe they want to put Seth in that role because he's more popular, supposedly. I think we probably could disagree with that, but just saying, the Ricochet on a global scale. But it just wasn't very good. Like, the wrestling matches were not that good. The non-wrestling segments were not that good. When here's the bad thing about it though. When Roman is in your best match of the night, you know it's not a good match you know it's not a good Raw. And that's not a bash against Roman Reigns. It's a bash about how he's been booked recently. And it's just been kind of underwhelming. And it's because people don't really want to see Roman Reigns, to be completely honest. They're tired of Roman Reigns. They're trying to slowly just kind of creeping back up into the main event scene, I think, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him over. They're trying to slowly. They're trying to slowly. The UPS guy showed up at the apartment complex. I don't think they're coming here, but it's awkward. Anyways, but it's been a long time since I wanted to actually review Raw and SmackDown, and it's just come to the point that it's just not fun to review anymore. And I think that's why I stopped doing it, really. That I don't have any interest in reviewing wrestling anymore. I'm just walking aimlessly around my apartment, if you want to know what I'm doing. Like, just wandering around. Trying to see what they're doing. No, they're not coming here. Okay. I don't know what they're doing. I didn't buy anything lately, so but anyways, yeah, wrestling, I don't know. Raw Reunion is bad. I'm probably not going to do any reviews of wrestling in terms of the weekly shows. I probably want to go back to doing things where fantasy matchups, or just randomly talking about the product. So that's what I'm going to do today. I talked about Raw Reunion, but also I want to talk about something today. And here's the thing. I want to talk about how the WWE can't get what we want. It's not that hard. And this is what baffles me, is the fact that AEW is putting on. And I know people are tired of hearing about AEW, because I'm getting kind of tired of hearing about AEW. And I'm going to talk about them here in a second. But yeah, they're going somewhere else. I don't think they're going here. But they're putting on these awesome shows, and they pretty much look like WCW. The biggest thing that WCW did when they were in business, and the reason why I think people are getting nostalgia kicks from AEW was because WCW looked like a sporting event. They had a ring. The crowd was there. There wasn't a lot of color. There didn't need to be a lot of color. The things that you want to bring out at a wrestling show is the wrestlers. They're supposed to wear the splashy gear, the flashy gear, I said splashy for some reason. The flashy gear, the robes, and the fancy outfits. They're supposed to wear that stuff. Not the ring, not the stage. And I know some people would disagree, like during, the Attitude Era and a little bit past that in the early 2000s, they had the fist on the SmackDown stage, and whatever. I always thought it was not needed. It was unnecessary fodder to have. The focus needs to be in the ring, and once you start losing that focus of in the ring, that's when everything starts to go to crap. And we slowly started to see that in early 2000s. And I think that's why the product started to fail at WWE before. They started dealing with too much of the entertainment factor, and that's what killed, I think, the whole era of that, and nothing came out of that era because they did too much entertainment and they put too much entertaining kind of people into the roster. That's what killed it, I think. So now AEW is doing all this WCW sports like stuff, and it's getting over. People are loving it, people are liking it, they really do enjoy it. And WWE continues to do the entertainment thing, which it's not working. They're wondering why their ratings are low. They have these writers that know nothing about the wrestling business, evidently. And it's just a bad, bad thing. I don't understand it. And the bad thing is, I think that half the wrestling fans could walk into a Raw, a SmackDown, and probably help book a better show than what they're producing right now. A wrestling fan. And I think that if Vince wants, and here's just the plain thing I'm throwing out there that seems like the stupidest thing. But if Vince really wanted to improve the product, I'm not saying hire me, but I'll tell you right now, I would do a hell of a damn job. But if he really wants to do something to help the product, if he wants to do it in the way that nobody's going to see it, he'll still get all the credit and get somebody that can do the job. Why not put an ad in the New York Times and the Washington Post, of these big newspapers, put an ad looking for professional wrestling fans that want to be bookers that have a professional career diploma. I probably said that in the wrong way, but you get what I mean. Because Vince McMahon doesn't care. To be completely honest, I don't think, but he wants educated people. And what better way to say, hey, we want wrestling fans, but we want hardcore wrestling fans. We want fans who are going to come into the business and really understand what is going on. We want fans to come in that understand there has to be entertainment. There has to be funniness. There has to be a sporting element. But also, you have to be able to build a show out of it. And I think that it's not that hard. Really, it's not that hard. WWE used to have matches and there'd be wrestling during the commercial breaks. They don't have to do flashy, things during the commercial breaks. They can just, wrestle. They can do rest holds. Who gives a shit? The people in attendance don't know. They won't know. They won't care. When I'm at a live show, I remember going to live shows. And I've been to live shows where there had been TV production and all that. I don't pay attention to the cameras. I don't pay attention to when they come back from the air. I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. And if you're paying attention to that, then you're watching wrestling and going to a live event for totally two different reasons. I don't know what your reason is, but enjoy the wrestling. That's what you're there for. And people, when they start worrying about that kind of stuff and diving in on that kind of stuff, that's just way too much crap to even care about. Tune into the wrestling show, watch the wrestling show, be entertained. That's what you should be doing. But Vince McMahon, the WWE, they create these things, and I gotta say this, because are they even watching their shows back? Because I'm watching it and I'm going, this don't even make sense to me. Like, some of the things, the flow is not even there. Like, do they even go back and watch their shows? That's my whole thing. Because if you watch the show, it doesn't even make sense sometimes. The flow of the show. You have, and here is my complete opinion about what happened on the Raw Reunion show. You have AJ Styles and Seth Rollins wrestling each other, okay? Main event, right? No. In the second hour. How does that make any fucking sense? Seriously, how does that make any sense? That's what gets me. Extreme Rules, okay? Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre versus Undertaker and Roman Reigns. Main event, right? No. The opening match to the show. Are you fucking retarded? Like, seriously. Who is playing out this crap? And then just to picture that, what I talked about Extreme Rules, if you didn't see that review, just to put in perspective, I liked all the matches up until the last two matches. The World Heavyweight Championship matches. I didn't even like. Those are the worst matches on the card. You should never be letting those two titles have meaningless feuds. And it's been a very, very constant thing with today's wrestling. It's been every single match on the card has had a decent build-up. But the World Championships have been lackluster. And then, here's the thing about it. If they do book the world titles in a good storyline, it's lame characters who nobody cares about. You had John Cena and Roman Reigns at the peak of people hating Roman. Had a kind of a good build, but nobody cared about him at the time. You did it at the wrong time. You should have did it like a year before or something like that. You did it a year or two. Like, they're always behind the curve. They're always. It's like, right now, Balor's asking for time off. Last year, he should have been world champion. But they're like way behind. He's winning the IC title. He's built. They know how old these wrestlers are. Like, they can't wrestle forever. You got Joe jobbing left and right to people. One of the biggest, best talkers in the company. And you're not doing anything with him. Kevin Owens, just now getting a push. And nothing's probably going to happen with it. That's the sad problem with it. Nothing is going to happen. You have Aleister Black. You put him on SmackDown. Fuck Charlotte. I don't care. This is what honestly I would have told Aleister Black. And I would have said, we're going to book you strong on Raw. We need you on Raw. And I don't remember who was going to go to where. But I thought, actually it was the opposite. That Andrade was supposed to be on Raw. And probably Charlotte wasn't happy. They say it wasn't, but I guarantee it was. But it's insane. They have all these great wrestlers and they can't even put on a good show. It baffles me. Nakamura, nowhere near the world title scene. Should be already. He should be Universal Champion right now. It should be him and Seth wrestling, not Brock Lesnar. It baffles the mind what the WWE has failed to do with all these wrestlers that Triple H has handpicked to come into the company. And yet Vince McMahon can't figure it out. You have AEW. Let's talk about AEW for a second. And let's just put this in perspective. You have AEW, Cody Rhodes, having an incredible match at Fyter Fest. We're backing up a little bit. Because I didn't see all of Fight for the Fallen, so I don't know what happened. I know what happened, honestly, but not a lot happened. Just saying. But you have Cody Rhodes, WWE Low Carter, that they had booked when he last was in WWE, facing Darby Allin, a guy who is an internet sensation. And I just stepped on a baby toy. Ouch. Anyways. Doing all these crazy stunts. And Cody Rhodes being able to go in there and have a great match with him. And then be in a major storyline with a guy who's now going to have Tully Blanchard as his manager. Gonna be a huge storyline for AEW. Cody Rhodes, a low maker. You couldn't do anything with somebody with the last name of Rhodes. You had Dustin Rhodes under contract with you. And you kept using the Goldust name. Even after Dusty Rhodes had passed. And you had that storyline with them in the Shield back in the day. Was it them in the Shield? I think it was them in the Shield. So much could have been done. You screwed up. Nothing. What do you... If I was Vince McMahon, I would sit the writers down and say, there is no way in hell that we should be having under 2-point ratings at all. They should be seeing 3 million at least in ratings. Now, barring that the rating system is pretty much a joke right now anyway, it doesn't really matter because people watch things, and there's probably a lot more people watching Raw than what they really know. That's just a straight up opinion. Probably what the rating is, add 1 million to it, and that's probably what they're really getting because people really do watch wrestling. They just don't know where they're watching it at now. But the rating system is, if they want to think it's true, then hold the writers accountable. Because this is just stupid. What's going on? And the thing about it is, what's really, really sad is that I've seen a little bit of Impact Wrestling lately, and it's way more entertaining than watching anything on Raw or SmackDown, which is really, really sad. So, there's my little tidbit. Now, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. But, Raw and SmackDown, I'm not a negative guy. I like to see the positive and everything, but when you watch Raw, and it's supposed to have a lot of legends on it, and they still come up and fail on having a good episode of Monday Night Raw, when they legitimately don't have any matches that are clean, that end in a clean fashion, irritates the piss out of you. So, I want to know your opinions. I want to know what you guys think. It's been a rough time watching wrestling lately because I just haven't been into it. And it's getting rougher and rougher to watch it. When Brock won the title at Extreme Rules, it really kind of set me down a path of, why am I watching this? Because they're doing everything in their power to not let people want to watch. Does that make any sense? They're doing everything in their power to not get people hyped for the WWE. That's what they're doing. It's like they're at a board meeting, and Vince McMahon's like, oh, how do we get people to be at the ultimate low of watching wrestling and don't want to watch it? And somebody in the boardroom was like, hey, we should put the title back on Brock. Hey, we should keep putting Roman in Raw matches that mean nothing at all. Hey, let's keep on burying Samoa Joe. Let's keep putting Finn Balor and Nakamura, two of the best wrestlers on the roster, in the pre-show. Yes, Vince, it's the pre-show. Not a kickoff show, it's the pre-show. It's not the show, so it's the show that comes on before the show, so it's the pre-show. Is it going to be on DVD? Probably not, because I've looked on the back of DVDs before, and you go to the pay-per-view on the network, they're not on the episode, they're not on the pay-per-view. It's just, it makes me so mad. And that's what I keep thinking about too with the pre-show, is that the people on the pre-show, when you go to the network, they're not on the pay-per-view. They're on the pre-show. Where do you find the pre-show? The hell if I know. Good luck with that. Like, I'm going to watch that. So, good luck to those wrestlers that go on the pre-show, and just hurry up and get your contact over with WWE and go somewhere else. I don't even care where you go. Just get out of there. Because the WWE is a sinking ship right now. And unless they turn something around, then I can see Impact and AEW just taking over. And people just dissipating from WWE and going elsewhere. I don't think WWE is going to go away. I really don't think so. And they'll turn around eventually. But it's just, it's painful to watch. I mean, it's almost like, and this is almost the equivalent of what exactly happened. Ring of Honor opened its front door and just said, AEW, New Japan, Impact, WWE, come on in. See what wrestlers are in here? Just go ahead and take them. Offer them a contract. Go walk out the door. It's fine. They did. Now look at Ring of Honor. Nothing. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. And in less than a year, half those guys' contracts are up. They're probably going to AEW. And the other are going to probably take a lower contract because Ring of Honor is drowning right now. And because they don't have anybody there. And people are going to start leaving and stop watching Ring of Honor because there's nothing there anymore. When you keep saying, when you keep seeing the same person as world champion, Jay Lethal, you're gonna get bored with the product. When I turn on Ring of Honor and Jay Lethal is still the world champion, I'm thinking, is he not good enough to go to another promotion? Is he not good? Can he not hang in the other promotions? Is that why he's not going? Question. Because he's not leaving. What's he doing? Nothing. Anyways, there's my comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good jazz. 25 minutes. God, I need to shut up. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good jazz. Keep rocking and keep on watching wrestling. Let me know what you thought about all the nonsense that's been going on in wrestling. Hopefully it gets better. I'm stressed out.